Roberta.
And I'm Duca.
And after 2 years bringing this sailboat that was neglected for over 22 years back to life, it's finally time to start exploring.
So don't forget to subscribe and to join us every Sunday for a new episode.
We were in a place called Parnaíba, which is an area in Ilha Grande, Brazil. We were facing south and the forecast was saying a strong wind was gonna come on the next day from the south. As we didn't have internet for a couple days, we didn't know the forecast has changed and the cold front was coming before expected. Changing plans, we were supposed to clean the hull now, but we met the neighbor at the beach and he said, luckily we met someone at the beach that got access to the forecast, as the place we were anchored had a lot of rocks around and it was not a good place to be anchored with the amount of wind coming from the south that day.
There's a prediction that the bad weather is coming already, straight from here, so time to go, my friends.
We do have some wind!
It's been a long time we don't actually sail. That's really good actually. Have like 16 knots of wind. That's awesome. So at this point the wind basically died. We went down from 15 to 5 knots and we decided just to leave the mainsail up because the mainsail helps to stabilize the boat and helps for the boat to rock less. So we're just motoring, mainsail up, all good. We went around the corner, we got behind the big hill. That's when the problem happened because the big hill won't let us see what's coming from behind, and also the big hill accelerates the wind coming from the top. And suddenly, in like, I don't know, 2-3 minutes, it went from 5 knots to 20 knots. That was really quick. And I felt like, nah, 20 knots just like before, it's fine. It's just the acceleration of the hill, so we don't need to reef the mainsail. And that was the mistake. The wind went from 20 to close to 40 knots in like minutes, really quick. And at this point we were right next to the rocks. We could not go a little bit more upwind to make it easier to reef the mainsail. We also didn't have the genoa out that would help to reef the mainsail because I could flap a little bit the mainsail and reef the mainsail. So we're like, no, let's hold as it is with full mainsail until we go around the island. The wind position is gonna change, it's gonna make it easier for us to reef. So we decided just to keep as it was, and that was really hard. And the other mistake is, at this point I had the center board down, but I didn't have the full rudder down, so we had a small rudder, and it was really hard to steer with so much wind, not much rudder, living and learning. And of course there was no waves. If we had waves on that strong wind, that would be a lot worse. Less talking, I'm gonna show you the raw footage, because usually at this point we just put a good song for you to listen and to enjoy, but I think if we put a good song, it's not gonna do justice to the strong weather there was. And of course you're gonna say, that's not much. Videos don't make justice to strong wind, unfortunately. Properly sailing. It's been a long time we don't actually sail. Today was, I think we hit like close to 40 knots of wind, right? Apparent.
Yeah.
That's really strong.
It's all wet.
Yeah, it's all
you are wet.
Oh,
the radio is wet.
Oh, good. The tricky thing is that the boat tries right now trying to go upwind, and I'm close to the rocks, so I cannot go upwind. So I need to keep holding up, not going upwind. The rocks are right there.
We did manage to put the sail on the first reef.
Whew, almost there?
Yeah.
At least now we are in good protection. That was a lot of wind back there. And now we're gonna go and anchor all the way behind the hills because enough wind for today.
We need some rest.
Yeah, the thing is we had no idea the wind was gonna hit that quickly, and we had like the full mainsail up.
Seems that we went to a war.
That was a really good practice on how to actually sail out with a lot of wind. I think that was like the most tricky wind we had so far.
Yeah, for sure.
Because back when we left our hometown, we had a lot of wind, but we predicted, you know, like we just had a tiny small piece of sail. We left before the wind, we grew, it was like a steady wind. This today was like out of nowhere and was really strong. It was really good. It was a really good experience, and we did really good. And now we are in BRoll. This is the main town of this big island. That's a huge island, so the small town is here. And we are here because, first of all, it's protected from the wind. That I think is dead already. I think there is no wind anymore. But also because we can go out for a treat. You know, we can go out for a treat today. We deserve a treat.
Deserve it.
Some cold drink, hot food. That's it. Let me try to show you the maximum wind speed today. Highest wind was 38.9.
And we made it.
Oh,
because
good.
it's all salty and
Yeah, it happens. Can you tell us why this panel is like this?
there is a little bug that eats wood, and I read that usually they stays on dry and old wood. So this is old and dry wood, and it creates like a little powder. I'm killing it with WD-40.
It's not termite, it's a different kind, and we don't have much. It's just like one or other spot, so we're just, you know, monitoring. We found one.
This one.
Now, let's go out.
Time to go.
It's always exciting to go to land when you've never been in the place. We have no idea what's
there?
like. Yeah, it's just really cool. That's one of the main reasons I want to travel by sailboat, because you arrive to places that we're not gonna go otherwise, and it's always a surprise.
New thing is to go rolling.
Yeah, the thing is, we are now in Rio de Janeiro. I'm not saying it's a bad place, but everyone say here every day, put your dinghy up, and just to go to shore and come back, I need to put the outboard, take out the outboard. It's one more thing. So let's just row. It's much easier. First thing first, garbage. That's pretty good. Smells good. Ready for some food. That's just the entry. Now we're talking.
Arriving home.
Every day on the sunset, when we look to this color, it's just like we chose the right color.
I was saying that as we are coming rolling, we have more time to admire the color of our boat.
Appreciate.
It's a really nice one. We have food for tonight, maybe for tomorrow. It's a lot of food.
It's so pretty. What a day. We started with waterfall and then almost 39 knots of wind, and now this beautiful sunset. It's just awesome. See you guys tomorrow.
We have been sleeping at 8 p.m.
Yeah, it's something that I've been enjoying. We are going to bed at 8 p.m. and we wake up at before 6 every day, and I think that's good because we use more daylight than darkness, and we save battery. We enjoy the day, and I feel much better if I wake up early.
Me too. We're gonna start the day with a new project. We are gonna go to shore and we want to have our dinghy secure. So what's going on?
We're gonna build a locking mechanism for the dinghy and for the gas tank. Here they steal dinghies every now and then, so we just want to make sure we keep our outboard in our dinghy. So we're gonna do, they even say that this is not enough, but just to go to the beach really quick, to go to town, to check the village, I think it's fine. And then we need to have, like, if we want to leave all night long floating, we need like a proper chain. But a chain is just too much, so we're gonna leave during the night, and during the day we're gonna use this one.
At least it's gonna be harder for them to steal it.
Yeah, there's always an easy one to steal, so you can either use this vice machine. Doesn't seem like it's moving. I guess we need to hammer. Let's see if it hammer is gonna work. Doesn't seem like I'm doing anything to this. Not a chance. I think we need a hydraulic ram that we don't have. So for now, maybe, what do you think about just doing like this? Autofusion tape. No one's gonna open the autofusion tape. They're gonna see, oh, it's locked, of course. I think it's a good idea. We're gonna do that today. But first we need to somehow take this off, no? Don't tell anyone.
When you watch this video, probably we had fixed this problem.
Hopefully.
Perfect.
I think it's gonna work. It is what it is. It's better than nothing.
Time to explore the little villa they have here.
But it's Sunday. Most of the things are gonna be closed. It's so pretty actually. It seems like for who has no boats, there's so many little, we call pousada, like little hotels that you can get like a taxi boat and go to the other side of the island. It's pretty cool. Seems like we're in a different country. We never do that in our country. If we were in Thailand, for sure we would be in one of these hotels and going around. But here we never do that because, I don't know, it's home.
There are some ferries that you can catch from the mainland to the island. So, and then you can enjoy these little taxi boats that
really
goes
cool.
around.
If we had no boat, for sure we would come here and just use this place as a base.
Was successful. Let's see on the way back.
That's good. We even made a friend. He let us leave our rolls on the neighbor house, and that's pretty good. One less thing to carry. Feels like you're in Thailand, just going to get the ferry. Yeah, it's crazy because we went to Thailand in the beginning of this entire journey, and that's what we would do. We would walk to the ferry, take a ferry to a different island, walk until we find a place to stay, and so we go.
So our future is to be with us in Thailand.
That would be awesome. That's the garbage ferry.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you remember the one in Thailand?
Yes.
Carrying the garbage?
And this is the people ferry. That's why we like metal boats. They can do anything. Check this out. It's like a huge ferry and it's a metal boat. Isn't that cool? Let's go. It smells like garbage right now.
The line is
It's a huge line. That's a really good business to own a ferry company.
You know that carnival in Brazil is a big thing, and during carnival this year in February there was COVID times and they canceled the carnival. So now that's Easter, they did a carnival.
Supposedly, we had no idea. Supposedly yesterday there was a carnival here in
They created
April.
another one.
Never seen that in my life. For me, carnival is February, not April. But sometimes happens. We had no idea. We just heard people talking about what carnival? Are they talking about next February? What's
And
going
then
on?
I checked my social media and all social media just talk about carnival.
That's funny.
With you, the sun is shining 24/7. 'Cause when we're together, it feels like we're in heaven. If we together, could be my million stars. I know I can lean on you.
It's fun that every island you find a church, always.
And this one with a missa.
I think we found a second breakfast. Looks good, hein? É 2 pães na chapa com manteiga e um café médio com leite e um pequeno sem leite. Coffee with plain bread with butter on the grill. Is that good? Awesome. Now that we enjoyed the town already, it's time for some boat work.
What's this?
We need to clean the bottom of the boat, but to make sure the water is clear enough, I'm gonna throw these on the water and see how far we can see. Otherwise, I'm gonna get wet, get all the equipment wet, and then it's not gonna be clear enough. It's, better to not risk. I think it's enough, right?
Yeah. It's bizarre actually.
Yeah, it's enough. We can see really far away. More than enough.
It's bizarre because it's close to a really easy area and we can see deep.
Let's organize all the equipment and we are gonna be back right. Ciao! I don't know if I explained you yet what does this mean. And I'm gonna go to the water for the final test. That's gonna be really cool. I can't wait. Let's go down. So conclusions about this Nemo 2. It's really cool because you do a much bigger area in much less time. We have a lot of barnacles in Brazil. We don't have just growth, like green growth, but we actually have like hard barnacles. The small barnacles it was able to take off. The big ones though, I need to use the spatula, but it's fine because the barnacle is the easiest thing to take off. But then the green stuff is just like you keep scraping and scraping and never goes off. So if I take the barnacles with the spatula off, then I use the Nemo to clean actually the hole, because if you don't clean properly, the barnacles will come back quicker, and to clean is just awesome. It was really good. We're gonna keep using for sure. Nemo, thanks so much. We really appreciate it's talking to me. I guess I need to take the battery off. I just freshen up with some fresh water because it's important to take care of the new tools, of course. Let's go inside and see what's going on the kitchen.
Some carbonara pasta.
Pasta. Food with bacon. With bacon sounds good.
Always good. But it's ready.
Lazy people. Instead of putting the dinghy on its place, now I think we're gonna leave here every night. Good. No one's gonna steal a dinghy that's this high from the water. I mean, they can try, but we're gonna see.
We hope.
And it's much easier. And I think it's really safe. We just lock on the grab rail and it's all good. We just need to organize the lines, of course.
It was supposed to be done already, but priorities.
Priorities go sailing. No. Oh no! Wait. One thing we cannot never forget. One thing we need to always open when we leave the dinghy on the high is the drain for the water. Otherwise, if it rains a lot, it's gonna just create a lot of extra weight. And if the drain is open, that means the rain can flow. But I just forgot to close. And if we put on the water open, then it might sink.
Yeah, there is no valve to retain the water from coming from the water inside the boat, so.
Yeah, by the way, we're gonna tow the dinghy today because we're gonna go in a really close by anchorage, just behind this hill. We could go straight to the city that we need to run a lot of errands, but there are so many beautiful anchorages. Even though we're not probably, there's a little breeze. We're probably not even gonna sail. It's just like, half an hour. But there are just so many different beaches that we want to explore a little bit. It's just hard to go pass by. We're gonna stop there one night, and then the next night, and the next one, and then the next one, and we keep going until we get to know many places on this island, because the island is just too beautiful to pass by quick.
We have a friend that we met in Guarujá and his boat's here, so we contact him like, what can we do in the island? And he said, you need to spend 2 years here to do the proper tour.